Right, here I am. Yeah, all-wheel motorcycles. But what am I on? GSX-S 1000. Absolutely marvellous. I'm going to get going, but traffic's horrendous out there. So I'll bring you back when I'm clear of the traffic. Yeah. Right, so the traffic absolutely horrendous today. Don't know if Ipswich are playing at home or not, but let's crack on with the bike. Yeah, so I rode the Z900, the Kawasaki Z900, and I thought, what's a good comparison for that Z900? And it's got to be this. It's a naked Street Fighter style 4-cylinder litre capacity or thereabouts. Yeah, and so this is a natural competitor for it. It's the cheapest of the GSX 1000s, but it is nonetheless marvellous. It's got quick shifter up and down. It's got 150 brake horsepower, which is just incredible, isn't it? And about 109 newton meters of torque. So again, not shabby at all. This means that it's got what, 25 brake horsepower more than the Kawasaki. So a whole Royal Enfield 350 difference. And when you put it like that, it's not a lot, is it? It's got a 19 litre tank, a massive tank, which suits me with my great long legs, I think. The seat height though is only 8'10", so not totally inaccessible for shorter people. Riding at a slow speed, and we are in a 30, so I suppose it's fair enough. We're just going into a 40. Dead easy to balance. Quick shifter work absolutely fine, even at slow speed. And it's obviously got all the traction controls, various settings. Dale said to me, do you want me to set it up? I said, I'll just make it as soft and sloppy as you can. Yeah, for these Suffolk terrible roads. I'm not going to go like a loon. I just want to see what it goes like as a bike. Yeah. Seating position, fairly comfy. Again, like the Kawasaki, the foot peg to seat height is quite tight, so there's quite an angle there, but it's not uncomfortable, and probably handy for when you want to get a leg on as well, if you know what I mean. I'll bring you back again when I get through these traffic lights and hopefully rid of this cougar. Right, we're off. So the clutch there for setting off is just absolutely fine, and the quick shifter absolutely fine as well, even at that low speed. Suspension's fairly firm, and we'll get down here, I reckon. On the turn, it's just beautiful. Yeah. For me, I mean, I love the sound of that Kawasaki, but so far I prefer the way this goes. Yeah, it feels a bit more solid, I think, as a bike, so it's possibly heavier. I think this is about 200 and I want to say 214 kilos, but I might be wrong, but I'll check that when we do the walk round. It definitely has a lovely growl to it. And of course it would benefit from a pipe as well. The back brake, so I'm just on the back brake down here, so I don't get too much dive. Absolutely fine. And you don't actually get much dive at all with the front. We've got this Freelander. So what I'll do is I'll pop up here and we'll go down that little lane and do a walk round, see what it's like on semi-off-road. Obviously 6-speed gearbox, quick shifter up and down is absolutely wonderful. So I'm going nice and steady. Get my visor down. Anyway, I'm going to bring you back in a little while. Yeah, it's a right hoot, I can tell you that. Handling, just absolutely lovely. The throttle is really precise, much less snatchy perhaps than the Kawasaki. So even at this low speed, on a bumpy lane, and talking of bumpy lane, the suspension, absolutely no problem at all, even on this rough old road. But what we'll do, squirrel out the way. What we'll do is we will, I can feel the suspension working hard there. We'll get it whipped round here, and it's another squirrel, what can I say, and a pigeon, marvellous. So let's get this here and we'll do a walk round. Engine off, side stand down, over it goes, and let's have a little look at it. There you go. What do you reckon? Suzuki GSX-S 1000. Let's change cameras. Right, so here we are. Let's start at the front with the Brembo brakes. Yeah, twin. And the adjustable forks, don't know what they are. Doesn't say anywhere. So, could be Suzuki, might not be. That wonderful 1000 engine, 998 cc's or whatever it is, makes a wonderful sound, pulls like a train, absolutely marvellous. Seat height 810, and it is dead comfy. Yeah, it's a nice big seat. That tank, you sort of think, 19 litres, where does it fit it in? And then you look at it from behind and it is a big brute. It really is. The back pillion seat looks all right. I don't think Mrs. Tame would struggle with that at all. I think she'd quite like that. Nissan caliper on the back, absolutely wonderful. Of course, everyone will put a tail tidy on because that's what people do these days. Yeah, very, very nice, neat, naked motorcycle. Mickey Mouse mirrors hit with an anvil, absolutely marvellous, and that TFT dash, perfectly acceptable. We're sort of getting used to them. Controls, dead easy, primarily because it's very similar to my 8R, so I'm familiar with it. Absolutely fine. I think it's not a bad looking bike, and I dare to say, although I prefer the colour of the Z900, I think this is a better looking bike. Yeah, don't know what the price difference is. I'll have a look before I get back on the bike. Yeah, wonderful, eh? 150 brake horsepower and 124, 25 newton meters of torque. That's just belting, isn't it? Right, I'll get back on the bike. Right, here we are, back on board, gloves on, ignition on. Brrr, ting, oh, marvellous. There we go. Oh. Right, let's get into gear and get this bad boy on the road again. I was just looking at the prices, and this is about £1,700 more than the Z900. It might even be £2,000 more, but they do a 950 as well, which is just over 10, so still more money. And I don't know what the differences are. So yeah, it's a lot more money. So from a cost point of view, it's not comparable. But from a riding point of view and a looks, I'd say it is. But I think that £2,000 difference shows, yeah. Obviously you get the quick shifter for one. I don't know what that'd be to have fitted to the Kawasaki. And of course, if you went for the Kawasaki SE, then it'd be a bit more. Yeah, so that'd bring it closer. Right. Yeah, it's easy enough. But what we need to do is get onto the senses test. It's just lovely. Absolutely love it. Yeah. I don't get to ride too many 4-cylinder bikes. And I did always really like them. And when I get on one, every time I think, oh, I need one of these in my life. Yeah, oh, bad boy over there as well. Yeah, but taste, what would this be like? This would be a Spangle. Do you remember Spangles? Sweet, hard, and potentially dangerous. Yeah, Spangles, I don't know if you remember, they also, like main cracknel, used to stab you. And then smell. Well, just warm metal. It's quite a warm day in the sun today, so you know, there's plenty of heat. Not too much though. You know, my legs are not cooking, that's for sure. And all I can smell is warm metal and plastic. Yeah. To look at, well, we've already said Street Fighter style, modern sports bike, naked sports bike. And then we're on to quality, touch and feel, and it's pretty damn good. But for that extra £2,000, you get the adjustable forks, you get the quick shifter, and that alone would cost you over £2,000, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. If you like Kawasaki, you obviously go for Kawasaki. And let's be honest, that road there is terrible. Oh yeah, if you like Kawasaki, and that engine, that Z900 engine, that 950cc or whatever it is a belting engine. But so is this. This 1000cc, 998cc engine of Suzuki's has been one of the best and you'd have to go a long way to trump it. You know, reliability, performance, reliability, and maintenance, it's got to be up there, hasn't it? I would say so. And then sound, well, it sounds lovely. All 4 cylinders, they have that that just make you excited, and they sound powerful, you know, and not artificially so. Let's get round here. Oh, look at that. The quick shifter is belting. Very smooth, very slick, yeah. But then we're on to the sixth sense. How does it make me feel? Well, I could be quite sensible on this. On the Kawasaki, I don't think I could. This could be encourageable, but it's very, very easy to ride slowly. You know, it's just a nice thing to ride. There's not many bikes you get on where you sort of think, oh, that's easy, that's nice. Bizarrely, the Kawasaki Eliminator is one of those. And this is as well, yeah. So as you can tell, I really, really like it. Yeah. Well, I'm not so, you know, no one will be surprised. I like the GX and the GT, both marvellous bikes. If I was going down this route, though, I've got to say, I'd pay that little bit extra, about another £1,000, and go with the Katana. Yeah, I nearly bought one, should have bought one, I didn't. Another one of my regret stories, and I don't regret much, I can tell you that. But what I'll do is I'll bring you back when I get a bit closer to Orwell's. Yeah. So not far now. A quick rundown. So obviously TFT dash, Mickey Mouse mirrors hit with an anvil, a 19 litre big fat tank for all that juice, 124 newton meters of torque, seat height 810, weight, I can't remember, 215 kilos, something like that. You've got a quick shifter, but the clutch is fairly light. The front brake is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy, and the back brake is also very nice. There's not a lot, but I can't think of anything to dislike unless you don't like the looks. And I think when you're riding something, you can't actually see it. So, you know, if you don't like a TFT, then you won't like this. The controls for the TFT, dead easy. The menu system is so easy to do on the hoof. So if you let the clutch out a little bit, so it's got this clutch assist thing. If you listen, if I just let it out, you'll hear the engine automatically pick up. Yeah, so you're not going to stall it, which is marvellous, isn't it? It's got that one-touch start as well. The very well thought out motorcycle, I think. Suzuki's, all of them. A lot of people will say, well, what about your 8R? How does it compare to that? Well, obviously this is a beast compared to the 8R. The 8R is also a beast in a different way, much lighter, possibly more comfy than this, and maybe a little bit more nimble. But it's not a litre bike, it's not a 4-cylinder bike. so you don't have to set off like a loon, which is a good thing, isn't it? It doesn't feel that heavy to maneuver in traffic or anything. Oh, I just love that sound. That's just wonderful. But like most bikes I ride, I have to give it back, and I'm almost there. So here, back at Allwell's, wonderful dealership, both for servicing, for parts, for closing, for the lot. Absolutely marvellous. First class service, no trouble at all. And what I'll do is I will stop it just here. Just here. Yeah. So ignition off, side stand down, over it goes. Let's have a little look at it before we finish. So there you go, Suzuki GSX-S 1000. It's just marvellous. Here at Allwell, and also marvellous. Ta-ta.